At Miami University, there's a rhythm. Brick paths, polished tradition, a campus that looks like it's from a movie set, where excellence feels expected, and image matters more than anyone wants to admit. But underneath that polished surface, there's pressure, there's silence. And for a lot of guys, that silence gets heavy.
Cam, Earl, marketing in farmer school business.
Men's mental health doesn't come up in small talk. It's not on the checklist during rush week, but maybe it should be. It's not about handshakes and house tours. It's about figuring out where you fit while pretending you're not even trying.
My name's Ronnie. I'm the president of the Frankfurt, Illinois, majoring in political science and philosophy on a pre-law track.
Miami, I wasn't aware that I had mental health issues. My dad never really talked to me about anything like that. My mom worked a lot growing up, so I didn't really talk to her about anything pertaining to mental health. So it wasn't really something that I was commonly aware of. When I got to college, my issues kind of started coming out. I was very anxious going into new atmosphere and uncertainties, which you see a lot of going into college because it's a completely new place to you. So when I got here, I had a lot of anxiety and I couldn't focus on anything. My twin sister had ADHD and I didn't know that I did. Eventually I was in a deep rut where everything just felt like awful and I didn't want to do anything and I wanted to transfer schools. And I went to the Miami school psychologist and they were like, oh yeah, it's very obvious you have ADHD and an anxiety disorder, and I didn't know that ever. And I guess being educated on it and researching all about it from that point forward helped me more than anything else, knowing why.
As it is, my life's pretty busy. I have a job and some other involvements, so being in a frat's really helped me, get to live with all my best friends. They're always there for me when I need them, and that's what's most important. You shouldn't be afraid of the people around you. They're there for a reason. They care about you, so that's what's healthy.
Like, has it helped you get through the low times, like being close with your friends, meeting new people?
Yeah, I'd say first semester freshman year, I got a job at Brick Street and I met a ton of kids that all happened to be in the same frat. And I wasn't originally going to join a frat, but I was like, oh, these kids seem like good people. I'll join the frat or rush the same frat that they're all in. And I'm very glad I did because I found connection in my fraternity a way that I didn't have anywhere else on campus at that point. So yeah, over the years, all the connections I have now and friends I have now are either from the fraternity or kind of stemmed off of the fraternity. All my roommates are in my fraternity. It kind of just was a stem for everything and helped me a lot with not feeling alone and not feeling anxious all the time because you had people going through the same things as you in this point in your life and in your college career and things like that. I'd say that I hope the movement creates more of a safe space with people in fraternities rather than, I feel like in general there's a lot of ego in fraternities and a lot of trying to seem perfect, trying to seem like you're the hottest stuff in the world. I hope this project makes it feel like you can be open with each other and being vulnerable is just making you better and more mentally strong than just keeping everything inside and trying to seem like you have it together when you don't.
That change, it starts in the Brotherhood grown at Miami, in the late night talks, in the decision to actually show up for each other. Not just when it's easy, but when it's uncomfortable.
My junior year of high school, I played baseball my whole life, and I was sitting in class, and my student counselor, pulled me out of the classroom and told me that one of my buddies that I grew up playing baseball with since I was 5 committed suicide. and that kind of took me back. Kind of changed my life. And then unfortunately, 2 months later, another player from that same exact team committed suicide in wake of my other teammate's death. And, that completely made me realize that you struggle with things that they don't talk about it, but it's a real thing. So I immediately kind of became passionate about men's mental health and wanted to, hopefully be a voice at some point in my life. So I reached out to this amazing non-profit called Mxm X Mental. They're really here for athletes. Their whole big thing is once you're an athlete, you're always an athlete. They represent a community, and I think that community can easily be used here at Miami. As an IFC community, we represent the vast majority of men here on campus, and I think if we unite behind this message that, it's okay to speak up and say you're not okay, and I think that's huge, Everyone loves the Brotherhood here in fraternities, and if that's an aspect of Brotherhood going forward, I think that not only will save lives, but it will just show the campus that we're real and we acknowledge the struggles and that we're here to combine.
We just have other guys that are maybe struggling with mental health.
I just want to, all the guys around here to know that it's normal to, be going through some stuff, and these shirts show that, speak up, don't keep it silent. I want people on this campus to see these shirts and be proud of something and be proud that we're taking a stance and we're showing people what's up at Miami.
At Miami, Greek life can be more than tradition. It can be transformation. And when brothers hold space for each other, not just for the hype, but for the hard days, that's when the letters mean something. You don't have to carry it alone. Not here, not anymore. We can be mentally strong.